Okay, I'm back. We're back in the nature scenery in the park, and today's video is going to be about breathing techniques to enhance your gains in the gym. I don't know if you can actually hear me because it's pretty windy from what I'm experiencing. So hopefully you can hear me well and there's no static associated with it. But let's get into it, right? The breathing techniques. If you watch the prior videos, then you'll have a primer on what you would need to do to properly breathe. But if this is your first video that you're watching, welcome. And welcome to all the new subscribers that are watching these videos. Hopefully you've watched some other ones that you got a primer on who I am about, who Alpha is about, and how we can help each other perpetuate and optimize to our genetic potential. So, breathing techniques, right? There's like many different types. If you just type in breathing techniques on YouTube, you'll probably find a good handful easily. DMT breathing, circular breathing, Wim Hof breathing, box breathing, name it. Fancy breathing, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We'll call it alpha breathing, right? The one diaphragmatic breathing is alpha breathing. I don't know, whatever, we'll call it whatever we want. But the key here is, why are we breathing? All right, so we always want to tie it back into what alpha is, how it makes sense, and that way you can proceed to making sure you get the right gains at the right time, at the right place. I'm not at the gym right now only because I want to show you that breathing is super powerful when you're in an environment where they're breathing all day long, right? I see trees, I see multiple trees, I see people, and what are they doing? They're all breathing. The trees itself breathe carbon dioxide, us humans and animals breathe oxygen. And so there's a symbiotic relationship between Earth and us, and we're constituents of Earth. And so the way we want to maximize breathing is first understand what breathing is. So I'm always going to give a primer on breath work before I talk about any video, only because I want to make sure that one, you understand what the concept is. Two, at the same time you embody it. The more you hear it, the more you repeat it, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So let's talk about it. When you take in a deep breath, where is it going? It's going from your nostril into your trachea, and then eventually into your lungs, right? I don't want to get too granular because then I'm going to lose all of you. Once it gets into your lungs, then it goes ahead and goes into your blood system, which then traverses all around. That's where blood flow will come into play, and then you'll benefit from it. The key here though is not just the act of breathing, because you can be breathing very fast, you can be breathing very slow. It really matters on what your oxygen requirements are. So for example, when you're doing a very, very heavy weight set, right? Let's say bench press, let's say shoulder press, let's say squat, whatever these massive movements are, you're gonna need oxygen, you're gonna need energy. That's the key here, the energy. Energy is what most people lack because they don't understand how to properly utilize their own energy in their body. Think about it from this perspective. For you to be awake right now, you need energy. How do you get energy? You know, our natural way of thinking is, I gotta go eat, let me take some caffeinated beverages, let me eat some energy drinks, let me take pre-workout, whatever your drug is, whatever your drug of choice. You take it, and then you get this maybe instant hit of energy. But, I mean, it works, don't get me wrong, it works 100%. But is there a way for you to naturally get energy without leveraging other resources? Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, fortunately, yes, we have. If we look around us, if we take in deep breaths, if we do some breath work, 10, 20 minutes, we can actually hyperoxygenate ourselves a lot. So much so that you'll be surprised at your PR. You'll be surprised at how much weight you can push with your body because it's natural. For example, I'll give you a prime example of what I do every single day at the gym that allows me to push very, very heavy weight. It's doing certain breathing exercises right before I pick up the weight. So I'll talk about today. I went to the gym. I have to do my chest press. I do a decline chest press so I can actually work out the full range of motion of the chest. I don't feel when I'm on a flat bench or I'm on an incline, I'm getting the full range of motion. So I do flat bench. And the thing is, I'm at a point right now where my PR is 90 pounds per hand, right? So we're looking at two massive dumbbells of 90 pounds on each side. From far away, when you're looking at me, it just looks like, okay, I'm just picking up two weights, I'm laying on the bench, I'm pressing the bench a few times and I drop it. And I make it look very easy, right? But in reality, it's far from easy. It's beyond difficult. Most humans, 99% of humans won't not be able to do that. And it's a pretty simple fact, only because they have not optimized themselves. I mean, maybe genetically you're gifted, you've been lifting weights your whole life, maybe you work in construction, maybe you're a blue collar worker, and that's perfect, you're able to do it. But most people, similar to me, right? I'm not a blue collar worker. I was when I was younger, but I'm a white collar worker. I sit at a desk. Well, not really, I sit on a standing desk. That made no sense. I am actually standing while I'm working because I've learned sitting at your desk is actually the worst thing you could do to the human body. The human was not designed to be sitting on a desk. So what I'm trying to get at is when I'm lifting up this heavy ass weight, I'm doing multiple things. I'm doing actually probably like 4 or 5 exercises at the same time. Now just think about the logic. I have to lift the 90 pounds, so that's 180 pounds on each side from wherever the weight is, walk to the bench. So that's right there, a farmer's walk, right? So that's an exercise right there. That takes anywhere between 10 to 15 seconds, and I'm able to really get my balance and my orientation properly before I actually do the exercise. Once that's done, I gotta drop that weight, and then once I'm ready and situated, I do my stretching of my arms. Mind you, by the way, everything I'm saying though, I need you to remember breathe. If you watch other videos, you know every time I tell you to breathe, consciously be aware of how you're breathing, and then you'll be able to keep practicing to get it to the optimal state of you breathing. So while I'm like getting situated, I have my weights on the floor, I'm taking a lot of belly breathing. Like I put my fingers on my belly. Most people can't tell what I'm doing because you don't want to be conspicuous when you're doing whatever you're doing. I don't know about you, I'm not trying to get attention, I'm not flashy. I mean, I'm wearing all black right now. I'm even covered up because it's super cold and I don't want my nipples showing. So think about the type of man I am, right? And hopefully maybe you're similar to me or you understand where I'm coming from. So I'm holding my breath, well, not holding, but I'm breathing, I'm feeling the diaphragm, right? So when I breathe from the belly, I want to feel my belly expand, and then I want to feel it decline, expand, contract, expand, contract. And so I'm taking in breath, I'm taking in massive amounts of breath because what I'm doing is I'm hyperoxygenating my cells, my blood vessel specifically, because I need as much energy, as much oxygen as possible to come into my chest area or just whole upper body. Because think about, so we talked about how bringing the weight from the rack to my bench, that's one exercise. Now let's talk about lifting this bad boy onto the bench. If you guys know what a decline bench press is, hopefully I can show you on the screen. You'll see how it looks. Like you're literally laying at a decline angle. And this is very dangerous as well. This is probably one of the most dangerous exercises you can do. And the only reason I do it is because it just does so much at the same time. So if you have the discipline, if you have the fortitude and the willpower to actually do this exercise, 100% start off really, really light, maybe 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, and then eventually you'll gain enough. That's funny, that guy just backed into another parked car. That's LA for you guys. Coming back to it, when I'm lifting it up, right, that itself is what? A deadlift. I'm lifting up these heavy weights from the floor, picking it up in an erect position, and I'm getting my posture. That right there requires so much coordination of me not losing balance, because once I lift that weight, right, once I do that deadlift, it's game on, right? I have to execute on what I'm trying to do, and the world blurs out. I don't see anything. I only see the weight and me. And what's beautiful about this, it puts me in the moment. For many, many years, I've never really understood like the new age people, the hippie people that talk about you got to live in the moment, you got to live in the moment. You know, being type A forces you to always be in the future. I don't know if I'm proud of it, but I live 10 years in the future. I'm actually in the year 2030 right now. I've been in the year 2030 since the year 2020. And, when you're building a vision of the future, you have to plan accordingly. So when I'm in the gym, that's probably one of very few times in my day that I'm actually in the present moment. Because what's in front of me? I have these massive weights, 180 pounds, weighs more than me. If this thing were to hit me, if this thing were to hit anyone, they will get hurt, they will get injured, and they will be out of the game. That's the key thing here. You don't want to be kicked out of the game. You want to be in the game at all times. And the way you be in the game is you got to put your focus in. You got to be so meticulously laser dialed in into what you have to do. And take a moment to understand what I'm doing with you guys. Not only am I talking about breathing, but I'm also helping you understand the mindset that you need. I'm incorporating mindset And you'll also be understanding metabolism, ATP, energy, how your body's using it. It all ties in. But I realize for you to watch these videos, for you to find me, you're probably looking at the title, you're probably looking at the description, you're probably clicking on it if it was a recommended video in your feed, whatever it is, you're watching me. So it's critical that you understand that you have to be in the present moment. For you to feel your breath, for you to feel that you're in the present moment, you have to feel it. And so when I'm lifting 180 pounds, I pick it up and now I'm executing, right? So I have to put myself one leg here, the other leg over, and then I'm on the bench, right? But now guess what? I'm holding on to the weight. I still gotta lean back, my guy, right? I have to lean back. And the way I do that is first you lock yourself in with one leg. You can hold the weight on one thigh and then lock your other leg in and then put the weight, and now you have stability. Okay, so we talked about farmer's walk to the bench. When you pick up the weight again, you just did a deadlift, so farmer's walk, deadlift. Now you're bringing it up into the bench, and that's going to be all stability core exercises, because when you bring up the weight on one leg, the other leg, and then eventually lock your legs in, you have to slowly go down, right? So this is, you're looking at a depressed decline ab exercise. Think of it like a negative repetition. Normally we think of sit up, you go up, right? But when you do a negative rep, you go backwards slowly. So you bring that down. So that's number 3, right? We'll just say number 3, because I'm sure we can add in micro movements between it, but for the context of this video, that's 3 movements. Now I have the weight. I mean, now I gotta execute, right? I got the fucking dumbbells, 90 pounds on each hand, and I gotta fucking push it. So how do I do that? So that's where over time, the progressive overload, the amount of muscle energy that you've built up, that's what you wanna execute. So that's number 4. You do that a few times, and then eventually now you're holding on to the weight. So this is gonna be where that massive stretching is gonna come in. You have a lot of fibers here, and for you to have the proper stretching of those muscle fibers, you gotta fully stretch it out. And then once you do stretch it out, then you let it go, right? So how many movement is that? We're talking about the farmer's walk, we're talking about the deadlift, we're talking about the ab exercise, and we're talking about the actual press itself, and then we're talking about letting go of that, and then of course coming back up. You want to do a little bit of rotational movement because you've just been in one direction, and that would end that day. And the movement, not the day, of course. So guess what though, right? That sounds like a lot. For most people, that is a lot. That would be considered a superset, right? You're doing so many movements at once, but you're targeting pretty much your whole body, because for you to lift it up requires your back, requires your legs, requires a bunch of your stuff from the back. For you to press it requires a lot of stuff from the front. And all the while, you're breathing. Remember, I'm like literally fully inhaled, and when I press it, I exhale, right? So this also matters how you're breathing when you do the exercise itself. I'm breathing throughout the whole thing, but now when I'm here, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And so the golden number would be 4 to 6. 6 is really optimal. 6 tells you and tells your body that, hey, you are confident, you're able to do it, and you can move forward. I do 3 sets of those, and once I do 3 sets, I end it. I figure out if I could do 6 reps on the last one, I'm able to now move on to the next weight. I'm not there yet, I'm still at 5, so I did 6 reps of 90 first set, 5 reps of 90 second set, and then 5 reps of 90 third set. And I'm okay with that. I have no rush. I am in no rush to do any bodybuilding. I don't want to get massively swole or anything. I mean, I look pretty good for my age, for my height, for my size, whatever you want to call it. I'm very optimal. But again, when you practice this over time, there's a gradual gratification in how you achieve your results. And really, to tune it all back, time it all back, bring it all back, whatever you want to say, you're breathing. How do you optimally breathe? Very simple. Put your 2 fingers on your belly, expand the belly, rise the chest, and then let it go. Expand the belly, rise the chest, let it go. Expand the belly, rise the chest, let it go. And I'm gonna say this every video, but with these videos, whatever the topic is, I'll incorporate whatever is of interest to you. So you clicked on this video because you want to learn how to breathe and you wanted to focus on the gym. How do you get those gains, right? Every single guy that comes up to me on how do I get my gains, I tell them the same story. It's just sometimes too simplistic for them. But once I unlock that idea, they're game. They understand what I'm trying to get at, and we have a great time because I get to see their progress. I mean, I am so proud of some of the people that I see in the gym. They just put in so much effort, and they're reaping the benefit. I'm not, they are, and they're benefiting, and I'm really happy for them because I know they will do the same thing for the next person that comes forward. It's a pay it forward type of concept, and I really value that because a lot of people has helped me, and I will continue to helping other people as well. With that being said, guys, this is probably going to be the ideal setup of how I do these videos. There's enough lighting here. I look pretty good overall. There's a ton of lighting, actually, a lot of space. Not that many people, so hopefully it doesn't feel like it's too loud. But let me know in the comments below on how you feel about this video, the style, the structure, and we can get more of these churned out in the future. My goal is 3 at a time, but it won't really make a difference to you. You won't know. With that being said, though, if you have any questions on anything that we talked about, put in the comments below. If you liked it, give me a like, letting me know you liked it. If you disliked it, also do the same thing. Dislike it, let me know in the comments if I can improve upon these videos. Again, it's really important that you embody some of the things I tell you, or else it's just another video they're watching. Mental masturbation all day, every day. Many of you have that. I've experienced that. It's not worth it, but I think you seeing 300 plus of my videos and videos about people talking about their experiences, you'll come around eventually. With that, subscribe if you haven't already. I really love seeing the subscriber count. It motivates me. Right now we're like 78, and I don't know what number is going to be when this one comes out. Hopefully 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, whatever it is. It just tells me that we're getting this message across to more people. So share it if you know someone in your life. I'm pretty sure, since this is a big issue for a lot of people, you know, it's just what it is. There's so many other benefits we'll talk about, how it incorporates with your, you know, your health overall. I don't want to give too much away because, again, this video is getting long, but I do hope that you guys appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.